Continue our coverage of the World Cup this morning. A heartbreaking tie for Team USA.
Do something here. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, it's a great cross, and it is an equalizer.
Oh my goodness. The U.S. was leading 2-1 and literally seconds away from winning when Portugal headed that into the goal to even it up. A win would have put the U.S. straight into the next round, but we're sitting here this morning talking about what is next. To break down all the drama for that game and tell us what it means next for Team USA is Wright State men's head soccer coach Bryan Davis live this morning. Good morning, Bryan.
Good morning.
Well, let me just first ask you, the excitement that you've seen around. We talked about that before. There have been 2 games now, and it is just awesome to see folks really out there supporting soccer.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing, Sunday there was a rating meter with compared to the NBA Finals, and it compared favorably. It says a lot about where the sport's coming in this country, but even in like bars and large gathering areas, it's been huge. And
that moment, when that happened, I was out in a big crowd of people, and it just, you felt the energy just leave everyone. It was so exciting up until that kick.
Yeah, it's amazing how it turns it around, because had we been the one to score that goal with 15 seconds left, we'd have been take the point and go home with it.
Right.
So, yeah, it's amazing what the change does, but again, it is still a tie.
And obviously that was kind of a miscue by the defense there. What happened on that last play?
Well, it just, we had an ability to clear the ball out. Michael Bradley, who I said last week was really important to us, strange turnover for him, didn't get it out, and they had a service, and we had 3 guys on one guy, and their guy, the tiniest of them all, snuck through and scored. It was disappointing, but you move on.
And we're seeing right there that first goal by the U.S., a great kick, just kind of hits it in the corner of the goal there.
I mean, it's a classic finish, and for a guy that was kind of his job isn't to score for us, and I think he did a fantastic job. We needed that moment from an unsung hero.
And that was another really cool one. Clint Dempsey just kind of hitting it with his tummy, with his stomach.
Well, privately, I've been critical of him amongst my friends, but he's having a special World Cup, and I think one of the best you'll see an American player have.
All right, so let's talk about what is next. What needs to happen when the U.S. does play Germany in order for us to escape the group of death?
Well, I think it's simple. If you win, you're in. So we're still in control. So that's kind of the great thing about where we're at, is that point yesterday still gives us control. So if we win and take care of business, we're in control. That being said, we're playing the #2 team in the world. So a tie still gets us in. My mentality would be go for the win. Have your guys prepared for that. If you get to a point late in the game where you can hold on to a tie and get that result in that point, well, then you're through regardless.
And does it matter what happens at the same time? Because at the same time the U.S. is playing Germany, Portugal is playing Ghana. So does it matter what happens in that game as well?
Certainly. The goal differential is one of the first tiebreakers, and so Portugal lost their first game 4-0. So for them to jump over us, even if we were to take a loss, it would have to be a massive amounts of goals. Massive being 2 or 3.
Right.
So the point is you want Portugal to win, and you want us to get a result and guarantee it anyway.
And what about some of the injuries the U.S. has had? Obviously, Clint Dempsey back with the big bruise underneath his eye.
Mm-hmm.
The other striker, I guess, Josie. Do you think he'll be back?
You hope so, but they scored 2 goals without him. I mean, Jurgen Klinsmann's done a good job putting together, I think, a team that is able to be dynamic. And if they have to change their system and change the way they do things, they still put 2 goals in on a great team.
And that's a good point. Jurgen Klinsmann played for Germany, obviously,
yes.
From Germany. We have a lot of German Americans on the U.S. team, so that's a kind of an underlying story to this next matchup.
Yeah, well, and he, last night he set the tone for it. Again, taking the pressure off his team. He already said right after the game, FIFA set this up for Germany to win. So he's already getting into Germany's heads. He's already taking the pressure off his guys, and I think he does a really good job of that.
Okay, so Thursday noon, what is your prediction for the end of the game? Who wins it?
Well, it's a tough one. I'm going to go with my heart on this. I think the USA wins 2-1.
All right. You had it. Thank you, Bryan. And we want to remind you that the U.S. does take on Germany this Thursday at noon. You can watch it on ESPN.